Hello and welcome to the Voice Vibe. My name is Philippe Hall. I'm your host. And today I have a special guest with me. Her name is Dorsett. She's a singer, certified voice coach, and sound healer. She's the founder of Embodied Voice Coaching and loves supporting her clients in awakening their voices for more joy, freedom, and confidence in their self-expression, singing, and public speaking. She received her master's degree in vocal pedagogy and vocal performance from the New England Conservatory in Boston. She's also a certified yoga voice teacher, and she's passionate about weaving energetic, physical, and spiritual practices for self-actualization. And so welcome together with me, Rush Dorsett. Hello, Rush.
Hi, it's so wonderful to be here. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Thanks for being here. Last time, um, unfortunately, you fell ill, so we're making this up, and I'm glad you're feeling much better.
Oh, yes, very, very happy to be here now.
I got to know Rush this last fall, I think September. Well, actually, last summer a bit. We started talking as she was putting together an online voice symposium, and I was impressed, Rush, with knowing how much work it takes to organize these things. I was very impressed with how well everything was organized, how smoothly that went in our discussions. So it was a pleasure getting to know you. And so I'm happy that you have time to continue to collaborate together.
Absolutely, it's such an honor. And that was a lot of fun, and yes, a lot of work, but so worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you did a really good
Mhm.
job, and I think there was a lot of value in that for so many people. I had quite a few people reach out to me, so it was great. And
That's so good. Yeah.
since I don't meet energy, yoga, voice, chakra healers all the time, I think it's very fascinating. And I personally feel as well that singing is when you get into the zone, right? And that's what we all want to do as singers. It's a very holistic, energetic experience, and I do believe it's an expression of a communication via sound from soul to soul. So I'm absolutely um, into this in my own way, but I love learning more about what you're doing. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about how you got started with energy work and the voice.
Ah, love this topic. And this was something that I feel that I was seeking for a long time during my singing career and process, especially while I was in grad school and focusing a lot on the anatomy of the voice and vocal technique and systematic vocal technique. I was craving and desiring a connection to some of the spiritual practices that I was really loving and finding a lot of benefit from at the time. So that included yoga, that included meditation, that included sound healing practices, and a deep desire to weave these together. I thought that there's got to be a way to bring them together. Sorry for a little bit of that background noise right now.
Well,
Um,
you're on planet Earth. There's
it'll go away in a moment. so, and what I discovered in that process was I started with myself, practicing with myself, and I noticed that after yoga, after meditation, after even receiving an energy healing session, for example, like Reiki, I noticed that my singing opened up tremendously. And so I thought there's got to be something to this. So I started doing some research in my thesis at school and started researching the relationship between emotions and singing and how that can open up technique. And then from there, went on to study the yoga voice method with a wonderful mentor. His name is Mark Moliterno. He's the founder of that method. And in his career, he created a synthesis of systematic vocal technique and bel canto with Ashtanga yoga, and found that actually the relationship between the subtle body, the chakras, and the physical body for singing was profound.
Hmm.
And so I started diving pretty deeply into that method and learned about how these, let's say, these uh, qualities that we are listening for as teachers in the voice. We're listening for onset. We're listening for smooth registration, depending on the genre we're singing. We're listening for projection in the voice from a place of ease. We're listening for a sense of spaciousness and freedom in the pharynx and in releasing the jaw, all these aspects that we listen for as teachers. And so we can actually bring that to the chakras as a source from where that comes from. And I really
Hmm.
liked that approach because what I found is that the results were pretty amazing. And it's very intuitive for students. So when a student is able to map in their mind body system and awareness the essence of their root chakra, for example, so root chakra corresponds to the earth element. It corresponds to the feet, the legs, the pelvis, pelvic floor, all of that foundation for our
Hmm.
systems. And
Hmm.
so when we're able to actually tap into that essence and all of the correspondences with the root chakra, then with the voice, what that typically creates is a healthy vocal onset. It creates resonance right away when we begin phonation.
Hmm.
And so I just found this completely fascinating, my whole system lighting up about it. And I began to really love weaving this practice into my own singing as well, and found just a lot of joy in approaching singing from that place.
I love that you talked about that. I don't know all the different chakras. It's something I want to get into and learn more about, so I'll definitely be talking to you about that some more. I just had some random unexpected connections where I've had different yoga chant leaders contact me about the voice, and I found it so fascinating that the various chants they had literally used different vocal mechanisms and timbres to send a different energy. And it was so easy for me to work with her because that the chant in the pitch and in the tonality, it I knew exactly how to make that sound. And it was such an interesting collaboration. I just thought, man, this is maybe I should just specialize in this. But you did, right? You did. You just went with it. And I love also that you're talking about the different, well, we could say centers or mechanics of the voice, because I'm going to be doing intensive training on what I call the big five coordinations of singing. And you kind of went right through and named them. Your airflow, your source, your vocal folds themselves, the pharynx, the tongue, and the mouth, the opening, the embouchure. So it's just fascinating that all of these things have a connection, if you will, and I'm sure you're much more aware of this than I am, in specific chakras, and there's ways that people have been practicing awakening these chakras for what? Thousands of years?
It's
It's
just
astounding.
amazing. Oh, yeah. Ancient lineages.
So tell me what it means when you talk about awakening the voice. What does it mean to awaken your authentic voice?
Yes, thank you for asking. And this word is used quite a lot these days. Authentic voice and awaken, and these are
Yes.
kind of buzzwords these days, but they also I think are accurate. And one thing that I want to add to what you were just saying about these practices is that the chakras, it's just one tool to approach the voice. And you have a beautiful system of helping people find their way into their authentic voice, and that's really helpful for people to understand, because there's so many things to coordinate. And so how does the student enjoy focusing on specific aspects, and what's
Hmm.
helpful? So that said, with the chakras, can you remind me of your original question here with the chakras?
Oh yeah. Just wanted to tie that into your use of the word awaken your authentic voice. Right, that was also, I think, the title of your symposium or voice summit,
Yes.
and I like the title a lot, but I think as a creator and educator, you have something very specific in mind by choosing that word.
Right. Yeah, thank you. So, yes, something very specific. So, awakening the authentic voice to me, and I can only speak from my own experience in my own practice and then in working with students, but authenticity, how do we define that? How do we even talk about that? Well, we can talk about it from several different perspectives. One perspective is the literal physical voice, which is the systematic vocal technique. So, those aspects that we're listening for in a free and open, resonating voice. So, we're thinking about healthy phonation. We're thinking about the chiaro and the scuro, the warmth and the brightness, and all aspects of the voice available to us at any place in our range. We're thinking about messa di voce. We're thinking about this freedom. So that's the physical aspect of authenticity, is that ability to access all colors that are within your voice, the potentiality there physically. And then there's also the energetic aspect that we're listening for with authenticity. So energetically, how are you feeling when you're singing? For example, are you overly thinking? Are you overly critical? Are you in your head? Do you have performance anxiety? Are you so nervous? Are you thinking about, oh, I hope that they don't judge me? Those kinds of thoughts, right? So, how do we calm the mind and come into what I would say most people desire to experience with their voice is flow state? A flow
Mm,
state. And there's so much science behind flow state. This is another aspect that I'm fascinated by. I used to actually studied psychology in my early days, and there's a psychologist, Csikszentmihalyi, who did a lot of research around flow state, and that you can actually create the conditions for flow state to occur. And
wow.
that's essentially, flow state is essentially the ability of one's skill level to match a challenge and to be
Mm,
in that sweet spot when you're just totally focused, you're immersed, you're not overthinking, and you're just in the flow. And it's a mindset that happens. And also energetically, coming back to the energetic aspects of authentic voice, the energetic aspects are tapping into that mind state. And a lot of that comes from being able to align the chakras. And so that's where
mm,
more of this esoteric piece comes in, because yes, there's plenty of scientific research about flow state, but the ancient yogis, they knew that when you align to the chakras using very particular methods, that flow state would occur. And we know now that also the vocal awakening occurs,
mhm.
because the voice it's a part of our system, our mind body system. And then finally, there's one more piece of authentic voice that I love to talk about, which is the spiritual. So we had the physical, the energetic, and the spiritual. And I think that it's important for us to remember that, and people have different spiritual views, and that's all accepted. But it's remembering that we are spiritual beings. We have there's a divinity, we could say. There's something within us. There's a spark. There's a creative impulse. There's something within us that desires to express. I think we could all agree on that there is an impulse of creativity. And so tapping into that, what is that for us? Why sing? Why create? And
Mm,
we all know that, as anybody who's been in acting school or singing practices knows, the importance of, if you're singing a piece of a character, knows the importance of connecting in with that character, that meaning, and communicating that to the audience, because otherwise the piece is just going to fall flat. So we need that spark. We need that truthfulness, truth telling, to come in. And I think that happens when we're able to connect in with that aspect of ourselves, the why behind the singing. So those aspects of authentic voice, physical, energetic, and spiritual, when they come together, it really does create this freedom to express, and something that is truthful for us.
that was really beautiful. I just was scooping up every single word. It's just resonating with me so much because it's so fascinating. Just my whole course about breathing technique I call airflow control. And I know control is maybe not the best word, but still I'd probably call it more like airflow guidance, but it sounds cooler. Airflow control, getting this flow state as a singer. And I have a whole other program called emotional layering, which is just speaking exactly to that. You communicate on a vibrational level, and humans, the fascinating stuff about the science, the modern science is we communicate through facial expressions, through specific frequencies, and everybody has it in their DNA. It's like everywhere in the world, regardless of the language, you can see certain expressions and they will be interpreted always the exact same everywhere. So fascinating. And getting all of these things coming together, I totally agree. That is what authenticity is. And that's the power of that each individual has. Nobody can copy you. And that's inspiring to me because it's empowering for people. You don't have to worry about being original. You already are original. You just have to get into trust yourself and trust the way you think and feel and learn to connect and communicate that. Then there's absolute authenticity. And it is this flow state. I've experienced that on stage, and I've experienced not being in it on stage. When I'm in it on stage, I can do anything. I could sing a high riff above a C6. I could do whatever. It's just everything comes together. And having portrayed a lot of roles as well, it's not about becoming somebody else. It's about finding the similar character within yourself or characteristics you may have, and then expressing them again your way. And that is authenticity that I love. And I think it's the biggest part about being an artist. We love artists because they're authentic, because they're being themselves, because they're expressing themselves and their unique version and inside of the world. So yes, we're like vibing here, the voice vibe. It's so
Yes.
cool. Look at
I'm
that. We even
resonating
got,
with everything you're saying too. it's so good.
yeah, I
Absolutely.
can't wait for you to be on our private community call on Zoom here in just a little bit. And
Yeah.
if you're listening and you want to join the private community, it is really cool. It's just called The Vibe. And it's an app. It's like a social media app, but we do private Zoom calls and a lot of things together. And I can't wait for you to interact with the community. Um, I'm really excited as well because I would like, or I was, when I talked to you and thought about you, Rush, I'm like, I gotta get Rush to come on and do like a live chakra awakening voice meditation, something together. I just would love, this has been a need I've had for a while. I'm like, you just got to sit down and do this on a more regular basis because it brings so much benefit. Do you think I can put you on the spot and ask you to guide us through a chakra awakening
I'd
meditation?
be
Maybe you call it
happy
something
to.
different.
Sure, I need one too. That sounds great. I am, you mentioned right before we hopped on the call that we have the option to share screen. And I know
Hmm.
that some people are visual learners, so I'm happy to just outline what we're about to do
Yeah,
with a
great.
visual aid. And then from there, we'll just go into the experiential portion here.
Okay,
So
yeah. Try it out.
let's
Tell me when you're
test
ready.
it.
I'm going to jump over
Yes.
here. You're my guest, and it should pop up there somewhere.
Okay.
And if not, then I probably have to put it somewhere else. But let's see. Let's go back to us, and you just tell me when you're ready.
All right. Let's see here. So, preview. Let's see. I wonder if this is going to work. Let's test it.
Let's work on Chrome.
I saw.
Video source. I might have to check. Let me go here. See, that's your camera. So if you got a screen, now you see that I'm not perfect on my Yeah.
We are improvising this,
We haven't tried it yet, so
and if it's okay, we don't have to.
yeah. Well,
People, that's okay.
if you
People,
want to
I
share
can
it,
share it. Yeah, I can share it later, and people can have access to it. But let's dive in. Let's do a vocal meditation, and I'm actually gonna grab my Shruti box. Have you ever worked with a Shruti box before?
I don't know what a Shruti box is by name. Oh no, I've never worked with that. That looks
Yeah,
super
so
cool.
it's a nice instrument to bring in a little bit of drone sound that
Hmm.
can accompany the voice, and it's used a decent amount in yoga and stuff like that. So, all
I
right,
recognize the sound.
yeah, you can hear it.
Yeah.
So just a nice drone. Okay, so let's just start taking 3 deep breaths.
Okay,
So
I'm gonna put myself on
yeah,
mute so I don't interrupt you.
yeah,
Okay,
great.
go ahead.
Okay. So, everyone here listening, thank you for being here. And I invite you to really give yourself this gift of actually doing this practice and tuning in. We're going to be here for just a few minutes, and it's very powerful if you let yourself receive this. So, I invite you to take away distractions for a few moments here, turn your phone off for a sec, and take a nice deep breath in and a long breath out. And we're going to take 2 more deep breaths. So, deep inhale, long exhale, and last one. Inhale and exhale. And as you return to normal breathing, just notice the movement of the breath through the lungs. You might feel the rib cage expanding with the breath. You might also feel the belly expanding with the breath. And tune into the legs and the feet. If you're sitting, feel your feet connected to the earth. And we're now going to do a chakra scan, starting with the root chakra. So see if you can tune in, imagine, and sense using all of your senses. The root chakra, it's connected to the pelvic floor, the legs, and the feet. It's your foundation. It's associated with the color red, and it's associated with the earth element. So as you imagine and sense your root chakra, see if you can imagine that red orb of light glowing brighter and brighter with each breath, becoming healthier and more vibrant. And now what we're going to do is chant. It's called a bija mantra for the root chakra. And this chant is Lam. So you can say that out loud. See if you can draw that L up from the earth. Lam. And feel it deep in your being. And so now we're going to chant this together 3 times, and I'll give a little drone here. We're going to, any pitch that's comfortable for you. Lam, lam, lam. Go ahead. Lam, lam, lam. 2 more. Lam, lam, lam. Last one. Lam, lam, lam. Good, and just breathe and notice. Just saying hello to the root chakra right now. We're going to move up to the sacral chakra, bringing awareness to the low belly, right below the belly button. We're imagining the color orange, like an orange orb of light. And you can start to sense and feel the quality of water flowing. You might even notice your body responding to that sense, and maybe your body wants to sway a little bit or feel this flowing sensation. So in the voice, this is connected to registration and the ability to move between your low voice and your high voice, coming from this deep belly place. So we're going to do 2 practices around the sacral chakra. We're going to start with VAM, V-A-M. That is the Bija mantra. And then after that, we're going to do what's called an elemental sound. And that sound is O on a slide, low to high. So I'll demonstrate and then I'll have you join. So we're going to do the VAM chant like this. VAM, VAM, VAM. Go ahead and join. VAM, VAM, VAM. Give a nice V sound from the deep belly. VAM, VAM, VAM. Last one. VAM, VAM, VAM. And now we're going to do a fun and playful sound. It's going to sound like this. Oh, you're just inflecting. Go for it. Oh, yeah. Can you feel the O sound really starting from the deep belly? Can you imagine that that sacral chakra is supporting the sound as you go high and then come back down? Try one more and just have fun with it. Ready? Oh, water flow. Yes, very nice. All right, let's move up to the solar plexus chakra. So staying tuned in here. And we're going to, you can even place a hand on your diaphragm, so the space right below your rib cage, the upper abdomen. And imagine the color yellow, golden yellow, glowing brightly like the sun from the core of your being. Solar plexus chakra, Manipura. And so here, imagine that that yellow is glowing brighter and brighter. And so with our being and our voice, this is connected to our personal will, our sense of self, our confidence and conviction. Think about standing in your power, connected to your solar plexus. So we're going to wake this up with the Bija mantra, which is Ram. You can say Rum, Rum, Rum if you don't want to roll your R, but if you want to roll your R, Ram. You can even feel the quality of that right away. And see if you can feel what happens in the belly when you chant that sound. So let's do that together, and I'll play my drone here for us. Let's begin. Ram, Ram, Ram. Ram, ram, ram. Ram, ram, ram. Just saying hello to the solar plexus. And now we're going to do an exercise called the elemental sound for solar plexus, which is laughter. We already know how to laugh, so nobody has to teach you how to do it. We go, ha, 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 ha. Give it a try. And what you're noticing in the belly, and I'll show you, is that you have a pulsing sensation, like breath of fire in yoga. Ha, 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 ha. And it's a very supported sound. Yes, exactly. You can do some breath of fire if you want to connect with that movement in the belly. Absolutely. And one thing to coordinate is think about lifting the soft palate. So this the smiling laughter, and then having the power come from here. Ha, 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 ha. That's it. Yeah. So see about now, just take a moment. We just connected with the first 3 chakras, and those are our foundation. So the first 3 chakras, root, sacral, and solar plexus, and notice the qualities awakened in the voice so far. We had root, earth, we had water, this flowy through the whole range in the voice. And now we have this bright, vivacious quality in the voice that we're waking up. That's actually where agility comes from. The ability to do runs and lines is from that solar plexus quality. So now let's move on to the upper chakras. So we're going to connect in with the heart. So the heart chakra, anahata, is, you can already just sense the energy right away when you place your hand on your heart, right? It has a different quality. So you can close your eyes and tune into your heart. Feel the qualities of love, compassion, perhaps even tenderness. There's a lot of tenderness in the heart. There's emotion connected in the heart. So as an artist, singing with emotion, with these qualities, dynamics, crescendo and decrescendo. And with the heart, it's associated with the quality of air. And it's also associated with the color green. So as you're breathing, feel how that orb of light at the center of your heart is glowing brighter and brighter green. And we're going to chant the mantra Yum, Yum from the heart. So let's do that together. Ready? Inhale deeply. Yum, yum, yum. Yum, yum, yum. Yum, yum, yum. Good. And for the heart elemental sound, think about emoting something. Let's say we want to express joy. And we want to do that. We're going to use the vowel A, which is another vowel association here. We're going to express joy on a crescendo and then a decrescendo. So try that out going, hey. Just any kind of expressive, intuitive sound from the heart. Ready? Can you let the sound swell like a crescendo and then a decrescendo? Try one more, any pitch in your range. Yeah. Nice. Good. So these are just the raw elemental qualities. Tune into the feeling in your heart with that. You're doing great. We're almost there. We're going to move up to our throat chakra now, the one we've been waiting for, throat chakra. This, we think about the element is ether. So space, essentially, for all the other elements, earth, water, fire, and air to flow through. And so when we have an open, spacious throat, that's what we can create. And so we're going to do something a little different with this chakra. I'm going to show you a mudra. And so the mudra is the pinkies coming together and the thumbs coming together. And you can place your thumbs at the notch right at the bottom of your throat chakra. Yeah. So mudras are very subtle, but if you close your eyes and just tune in to the feeling of this mudra, see if you notice anything specific. It could be just very subtle. But this is called the lotus mudra. So it's a symbol of enlightenment in a lot of traditions. And what we're going to do is tone hum here. That's the bija mantra. So think about a spacious, yawning throat, this yawny, spacious throat. And we're going to chant hum, any pitch that feels comfortable to you, and begin. Hum. Good. Do 2 more and play with your low range and your high range. Yawn, spacious throat. Good. One last sound. We're going to do the E sound, which is the vowel quality for the throat. We're going to think about a yawning E, just so yawny. Just breathe and notice. As we get up to the upper chakras, the mind starts to become more quiet. And so you can start to let your hands go. We're going to come up to the third eye chakra, which is the center of the mind, Ajna chakra. So you can think about and imagine an orb of deep indigo light right in the center of your mind. So think about the mind becoming quiet, like a calm pool of water, calm and deep. This is the space of wisdom in the mind and intuition. So what we're going to do here is chant the sound Aum. So that's 3 sounds in one. Aum. So really embrace all 3 of those sounds. And let's chant that together. So take a nice deep inhale and begin. Aum. See that hum right into your third eye. Good. Breathing deeply, noticing, sensing. We'll finally move our awareness to the crown chakra. So the crown chakra, you can imagine the 1,000-petal lotus opening to your divinity, to all that is, to source, God, universe, any words that feel aligned for you, consciousness. Imagine that this energy center is opening to something greater than yourself. And you can imagine all of this energy flowing through your crown, down through your body. Imagine that it's immersing you in a beautiful waterfall of bright white light, cleansing and purifying your whole system. And the sound associated with the crown chakra is actually silence. So the sound of silence, it's a vibration that we can tune into. So listen to the vibration using your inner listening and sensing. Now imagine all of the energy centers flowing in the light together, all coordinating as one. And we'll do a final sweep of sound, starting low, going high, all the way up through the crown, and then crown all the way back down. So this sound is going to be like this. Oh, like we did earlier. So a howling kind of sound. Go for it. Sweep through all your chakras. Oh. Finally, we're just gonna hum to find ourselves back home. So you can bring your hands to heart center if you like. And we will chant one final Om and end with a nice long hum. And you can send an intention out with this Om. So inhale deeply and begin. Om. And just breathing and noticing. And this is a perfect moment to imagine yourself singing, expressing, and speaking fully free and fully authentic. What does that feel like? What does that look like? What does it sound like? Go ahead and imagine yourself there. How does your body feel? How do your energy centers feel and play? Let's take one final breath in to seal this practice. When you're ready, you can come back. Open your eyes. You did it.
Thank you so much, Rush. That was great. I hope
Yeah.
everybody listening or listening later, I know they're really going to enjoy this. Yeah, you can hear my voice is a lot more easy. It's a little bit,
Yeah.
it's morning, right? In the beginning of this live stream, my voice is like a little bit more morning groggly, but now it's just feeling a lot more easy, low and
Mhm.
flow and slow and smooth.
Woohoo! I love that.
I love going through those chakras and talking about, and it's just so fascinating to me. It must have been extremely fascinating to you as well, learning all of this and combining all the dots, the colors, we'll have to talk about that later, but also the chants or the sounds correspond to literally so many times where we feel physically lower and higher frequencies. It's just incredibly fascinating how they just map out ancient wisdom, being reaffirmed by modern science in so many different ways. Even the vowels and the movement, it's super fascinating. So thank you so much for that. I hope everybody's. I wish that thousands of people all around the world will really enjoy this. And if somebody would like to reach out to you in the future, then just check the description. We'll have the details for Rush there in the description of the video. And I'm looking forward to collaborating again soon, Rush. Thank you so much for this.
Likewise.
So I'm so relaxed now. I'm like, gotta
Me too.
gotta come back and entertain people
Oh,
here.
great.
So we're gonna jump on our private call with the private community. If you would like to join that private Zoom call, then go onto my website, singandrevealed.com, click on the Vibe community, and there'll be instructions on how to join that private call. Come on in, meet with Russian and myself, and we will talk personally. I always want to offer connection. So my whole purpose with the Vibe is to inspire, guide, reward, and connect. So I hope that you were inspired by what you heard today. You've received some instruction that will guide you to do this type of chakra awakening so you can receive the benefit, the reward of these positive effects, and you can reach out and connect with us and with other singers like yourself. So have a lovely day. Stay tuned because we've got the Big Five fundamental coordinations of singing coming up, a wonderful intensive training on exactly this, on the power source for your voice, your air. There's specific coordinations and the vocal folds. So air, vocal folds, pharynx, tongue, lips. We're going to focus just on the two that go naturally together, air and vocal folds. And the wonderful thing about this, like we're waking these chakras, they all fuse together, don't they, Rush?
Very much.
Everything needs to work together. And when you improve your skill level in one coordination, or you awaken and liberate maybe one of these chakras, all of the chakras get brighter, don't they?
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
like this continuous circle. That's how I just imagine it, of upgrade one, everything upgrades, and then that one that needs a little bit more work is going to stand out. You upgrade that one, everything upgrades again. So it's continual progress and evolution for your singing journey. That's what I'm going to be doing this year. So please join us. Like and subscribe. Thank you so much for joining, and we will definitely see you next week on The Voice 5. Thank you, Rush.
Thank you, Philippe. Wonderful.